Hello, friends, and I want to welcome you to Tool Time Tuesdays, where a bunch of us are coming together to do a year-long series for 2023. Each month, we are going to focus on a particular tool. So, I will have everyone linked that is participating in the series in the description box. And I hope that you will join me for this year-long series. I participate in this one and in Collection Obsession. So you have two series that I work on for minimally two that I work on all year long. So I do hope that you'll like and subscribe to this channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, and I hope that you really enjoy what's probably going to be a very exciting year to get those dust off some of those tools that have been sitting in our stash. And I'm the biggest culprit. So let's get on with it. I am going to be playing with this Pick Me Up collection for the January layout. So I did want to show you that, but I wanted to talk a little bit and spend some time talking about the different variety of templates, because there are many. And did I mention? I probably glazed over it, but the tool for January is templates. Templates, I think, is easily described in many ways, like depending on, I think, how long you've been scrapping, your interpretation of what a template is might be slightly different, right? So I'm gonna put up some pictures because I do have some photos to show. Who remembers? I'm using Pinterest, by the way. Who had these? Raise your hand. Who still has these? Not me. That's a template, right? Literally, where you would cut the shape, you would cut your photo. It's a whole thing. So Fiskars used to sell these. They're these really thick orange plastic templates. Some of you may be more familiarized with these, right? These are the OG Creative Memories. I'm sorry if you're getting a glare. I'm trying to avoid the glare. These OGs, these are also with the little cutting little things. I don't even know what they're called. But they came in different shapes: circles, ovals, hearts, other geometric shapes, and whatnot. So then you move into oh, here are some of the hearts. Let me show you. Here you have the ovals and the hearts from Creative Memories. Those are fun. And then I bring you to something that's probably a little bit more recent, which is the Kiwi Lane. Some folks, got into the Kiwi Lanes. I never owned any Kiwi Lanes, so I can't speak from experience, but they look a lot of fun. And you remember, you could make all of these like different shapes, or kiwi. If these are not Kiwi Lane, they're Kiwi Lane like. But you get the gist of it, right? And then you get, oh goodness, who remembers these? Did you ever try to do some of these mosaics where you like literally cut your pictures apart? That, first of all, I've seen it done. It's amazing, but I've never done it myself. It's pretty amazing looking if you've ever seen it in person. And then let me just try to find one more. Where did it go? And here we also have our beloved Simple Stories. They came out with a whole series of different templates. So here's just one design. I'm going to flip through here. There's a ton on, if you just put Simple Stories templates, you find them all on the internet. They're very easy to find, the templates. So I'm going to show you what I do have and hopefully inspire you to go searching in your stash. Okay, let me just get myself situated here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what I have in my stash, what I personally consider templates. And I wouldn't say I have a lot, but, and then I'm going to show you what I'm thinking about possibly using. So I do have my OGs. These are my OG circles. These come in 3 sizes. Most of you probably have seen or heard of these. And you just use these round, and this one, these ones with a yellow have the blade and it cuts out. You can use the inside, the outside. The different colors means that you cut at different widths. So there's that. And then that same cutting system works the same with these. I have the diamond, and I also have 2 of the hearts. So that's the Creative Memories that I do own. I've had this, oh gosh, this probably, this is one of the first tools I bought. So I've had those probably for, probably 25 years or so, close to. And then I have this other template. It's the same thing by Creative Memories. I think this is supposed to go like in I think this is supposed to go like in a what was I gonna say? Like a trimmer. But I don't have a trimmer. I've never used this. I think I bought this at like a tag sale or something. So I'm gonna try to see if I can make this work, because I do like this kind of wiggly line. I like this. I've had this in my stash forever, never used it. Same thing for those squares. I don't know if I've ever used the hearts either, but the circles I've used a ton. So then I have this other Creative Memories template, and this one is, you'll see the template of a leaf. I tend to use this one more just to make lines, journaling lines. So I keep this like really close in my stash. You could just use a ruler, but I like that this also has like already kind of pre-made. I can either opt to use this side, or I can actually use the lines there. These are probably one of my favorites that I have. These are Simple Stories. I don't even know what they're, I'll look up the name in a second. They're the Simple Stories, but they're these templates, right? So that if, for example, you want to cut your photo, let me just try to grab a photo here. Say you want to cut your photo down, but you're not really sure where you want to cut it. You can obviously, I just put them in a ring. You can, this is a 3x4 size. It's really heavy duty plastic. But you can just kind of put it over your photo. And you can kind of see like roughly where you could make the cuts. I actually have been known to just take this and put it over my photo like this and just do the cuts. I know. I just do the cuts, and it works out well. If you don't like how that looks, you can overlay a 4x4 and you're like, oh, maybe I like that a little bit better. I need a 4x4 photo and I need to see where I would need to cut. Perfect. It's actually it works out better for like, you know, kind of eyeing, because instead of making the cut and then you're not 100% sure about where you actually want to make the cuts, you can do that. I have had friends, hi Deb, if you're watching, my friend Debbie actually messaged me because she actually made these for herself. She went to the Dollar Tree and just bought herself some of their cutting, like the clear cutting boards like this, and she just ended up making her own after watching one of my videos where I use this. So that is another alternative. Okay, I did manage to find them. They are actually by Snap Studio, by Simple Stories. They're called photo crops, and this is from Amazon. So there you can absolutely, and they do come with a ring, and here it just shows you that you can you know, how to use them and all of that stuff if you're interested. For my layout today, I think I am going to try to use this one. I'm gonna practice first, see how it, I don't know if it's gonna cut, you guys. It almost feels like it needs like a little bit of a lip, but maybe I can get away with it. I don't know. Or if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna try these, and maybe I can incorporate some of these. Hey guys, so I wanted to just add something. I think that I would be remiss if I didn't say this, that I think one of the things how I was thinking about approaching the series is really around looking at my tools in particular, but in a different way than obviously meets the eye, right? Because clearly it's not like I use them for every layout or even every other layout. And we invest a lot of money into tools in particular. And templates is no different, right? These may not seem like they cost a lot, but if they're just sitting in your stash and they're going untouched, I think one of the things that I want to make sure that as I approach the series, that I think about the tool, whatever it may be, in an out of the box way. I want to think about them in a way that that is not so obvious, because obviously the obvious isn't necessarily inspiring me to create with them. And so a couple of the questions, or one of the questions that I want to ask myself is, if I can't find the joy in kind of just using it to create hearts, for example, can I use it in some other way to make a background or to make an embellishment or a scene out of it? And so, you know, until I started kind of preparing for the series, I never even realized that there was a hexagon inside of the heart. Like, I didn't stop to even pay attention. There's a hexagon. Like, this is very obvious, right? There's a circle outside, there's a circle inside. Same thing with the diamond. There's a diamond on the outside, diamond on the inside. And this one has, it's more of a like ovally shaped in the center. But you know, could I have used that to make some kind of embellishment? Maybe. But never, kind of not seeing it through. Like, what else can I make with these that, you know, could I have made a whole bunch of, you know, background hearts using pattern paper? You know, could I have used this as a heart, as a mat of some kind? So just kind of thinking about things like that is one of the things that I'm going to try to challenge myself to do during this year-long series with every tool that I touch. And hopefully that will inspire you to kind of take a look at your tools in the same way. All right, So let's get going and see what we can create with this. So can I just say one thing here? If there was something that could go wrong, it did go wrong during this video. And I just want to be really upfront. But you're going to see that I end up being really happy with the layout regardless of my trials and tribulations. So I did end up using that curvy ruler. Here you see me, I'm just looking through the cut aparts because I have gone ahead. I've cut down the edges on the bottom of my photos and the ones that are vertical, and then the ones that are going horizontal, I've cut the top edges so that they would kind of look like they belong to the same puzzle. And I'm going to try to do the same with these cut apart. So I was just trying to find some that actually would go with the photos that I'm documenting today. So here you have me. So you see there's like gaps in between, but I'm like, I'm gonna just work through it because I already knew that I could possibly just hide some of my blunders with some of my clusters, right? So I didn't worry too much. I was like, oh God, here we go again. So I'm using my my OG self-healing mat. This was, I think, one of the first that I ever purchased. And I've kept it in my stash, and so I keep it handy. And it's gonna help me cut down some of these, and it fits perfect. My ruler, that the cutting guide or whatever you want to call it, the cutting ruler actually fits. It doesn't fit perfect, but it gives the paper that little bit of a lift that it needs in order to get cut. So here I'm starting to kind of get the hang of this, right? After cutting all of those photos and papers, I'm finally getting it, like, yay, it kind of worked. One thing worked. But so here I was like, oh gosh, I kind of made a mess of this one. And is this the first one or the second one? I thank the Lord for I had extra sheets of these cut aparts, so I really hack up one of them and I end up just going to go get the other one. So here I'm just thinking about placement, where I want to place things. Oh, here I go. I'm going to hack this up completely. But I'm very happy. I will say that I worked through the many challenges. I didn't have to make it this hard. This is just like, I didn't plan this very well. I just kind of winged it. I just started cutting and kind of just went from there. I think it would have been more forgiving would I have if I would have used the less curvier ruler, 100%. But alas, that's not where we are today. We go big or we go home. So I went this way, but this is you may have situations where if you've pulled out your templates and you're playing along, you may not, obviously, are not going to have a hard of a time as I am. This was a very long video, as you can imagine. I filmed the whole entire thing, but I did end up cutting bits of it out. I just didn't really, I try to keep in the pertinent parts. Still, obviously, having you watch my struggles and kind of working through them, because I think that's what happens in normal situations, or just situations in general, right? When you're crafting and maybe you bite off more that you could chew. But here I am. I'm working through them. And so you see me. I'm like chopping that thing like, okay, maybe I can make it work. Oh, look. I can't remember now if this is the second piece. I think it might be. I still messed it up completely. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, um, I spend a lot of time just on these time-consuming, kind of tedious cuts. Probably if I had planned a little bit better, I probably would have been better off. But I really, that side, I was like, ooh, I like that. I can fill in the sides of that journaling card with some strips of paper. No problem. That fits perfect. I'm good. um, but what you see, the only thing that I really prepped, obviously besides the photos on the white mat, are the 3 frames that kind of frame the photos. It's a frame within a frame within a frame. And all of the pattern papers, except for obviously the white, are all from the paper collection or the paper pad. And because I knew, okay, did I say everything that could go wrong did go wrong? We ran out of ATG. So not a problem though, even though it took me a gazillion years to fill it, which it normally doesn't. I think I got a tricky roll. But anyway, so I was talking about the frames. The frames really are really simple. I just wanted for the burgundy ombre, pinkish type of ombre to really pop. And I thought that it would be best matted on the white. But then it was like I was losing something. I wanted something else. I wanted to frame the white on some navy from the photo. So I went ahead and I matted the white on the navy blue. And I kind of just hollowed the navy blue paper so I could keep that in case I wanted to use it for embellishments or things like that. I didn't end up using them, but they're in my scraps with the paper pad, so I'll be able to use them again. I am pulling some of the chipboard elements that I have, these stickers from the collection. These have been in my stash probably before even the paper. They were probably from a kit that I purchased a long time ago when the collection first came out. These are some of the things that I have fussy cut out of the cut apart sheets. And so you're going to see me, I'm going to play around with the positioning. So here I'm taking the cut aparts. I have cut apart those 3 words, and you can't see it from here, but one of the words says happy, the other one says family, and the other one says memory. There is a chipboard that says hooray. So you're going to see I'm going to take one of the cut aparts and I'm going to make my own embellishment foundation. Here I'm just taking a corner rounder and I'm just making rounding out those edges. Here I'm just taking this poor cut apart that I hacked, and I'm going to use that pink tone to just, if you can see it, I kind of backed the corner punched so that it looks more like a label. So I've gone ahead and put the chipboard on there, and I'm going to tuck that in right there. And then I'm going to I want to add a little bit of more interest with these words so that my title is cascading from the left on down. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some additional chipboard elements. I'm kind of just auditioning the words because I'm like, I don't know if I like them there. I do know that I have the parts that I have fussy cut I love. So I've gone ahead, I think I've adhered those down at this point, and I'm just kind of seeing if I can, if anything else, while I'm still simmering on the words here. I'm trying to figure out if didn't like how the four words kind of went down in a cascade. I feel like there's something missing. I want to make sure that I cover those words because they don't have anything to do with my photos or the sentiments in the photos. So I want to pull out something here and see if I make it work. So here I've fast forwarded a little bit and you'll see that I have added some floral touches to the layout as well as some butterflies to anchor some of the words, and I'm liking this a whole lot better. I'm flipping through right now my pink paisley notebook. This is just an easy way for me. It's a composition notebook where I just put some wax paper and I have my pink paisley die cuts in there. I think I looked through them, as pulled out as much as I can. The butterflies are from there. There's several butterflies. And now I'm just taking my Heidi Swapp gold mist and I'm just doing some splatters here in gold. There are gold elements already on the layout as part of the embellishment, so it's a nice touch to kind of putting in some finishing touches. Now I do have my use it up bin here that I've brought in. I recently cleaned out my doily and tag drawer, so you'll see that's what's at the top there. It's just a bunch of half or partially used doilies, but there's a lot more other stuff that I can pull from in here. And again, this is the last chance, so any kind of small bit layering things that are just don't have a home, that's when I go through that. I try to go through it for every single layout that I create, and particularly if I'm looking for finishing touches. This is my blue color bin. I have my non-themed embellishments in color bins. So I've gone through the blue. I think I've used some blue enamel dots. Now I'm going through the gold. And I think I finish it off with like the corally orange type enamel dots. I don't know if I'm going to pull those. Those are there at the bottom right now, and I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to be looking for some enamel dots, but let's see. You know, so you'll see that a lot of the kind of mistakes that I made in terms of the cutting, you can't really see, right? And so that's the nice and forgiving part about this layout, and kind of winging it and not taking necessarily the time that I probably should have done so for planning. But here are the final 2 pages. I did a 2-page layout, and here's page 1 and 2. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I sure hope that you come back next month to see what we have in store for Tool Time Tuesday. Bye for now.